Hello, can you hear me? Thank you for listening to me. I have a book, a fame, fortune, and for you. Yes, a spy. Live in Australia, spying on you. I think I gotcha. You are being spied on by the CIA. Yes. It's in my book. And I'll read you now what's happening. It's me. Sit. Don't disturb me, I'm thinking up here, see? Okay. It's me, your Stephanie. You make love to me. Like you, not here at times. Where are you? Now just hug me, please. She curled up with her arms around him, head on his chest. The clock ticked. The owl in the outside tree watched for his dinner. A mouse. The iguana had its head into the rubbish bin. A rat ran by. The tree branch fell in a silent drop. Overhead the moon watched all, and the owl missed nothing. Frank's phone gave a ping as a message came from Inspector Boss as the clock struck a time in the late darkness. Chinese hotel buying is bought by a different lot of shelf companies owned by Chinese gangsters in Shanghai. Ho Ho is protected by the federal police. Can't touch him. The small picture phone of Frank's iPhone read to him. Cannot touch him, thought Frank. But I know who can. He thought again. In a park in Washington, a phone rang in a man's pocket. Harry here, came the voice from Frank's phone. A dinner in Canberra, a dozen members of the world diplomats, silverware in black and white, silver waiters with silver latrines. The Prime Minister of Australia was relaxing with his staff, thinking only of the rowdy day of Parliament. He smiled as his plate of beef and vegetable soup was served from a soup tureen. He reached for a bread roll. A security aide whispered in his ear, "Sir, a phone call from the President of the United States." "Sir." The aide looked at the Australian Prime Minister's eye a moment longer. He is not happy. This is not a social call. The Prime Minister looked at his aide in astonishment and shrugged his shoulders like a kindergarten. That child gets the blame for eating a cheese prize fruitcake which the class had cooked for this local show. The clock was ticking on a darkened bookcase. Stephanie's room was a darkened place of happy shadows. A mouse ran by into the kitchen. A cockroach crawled from a carport ledge. A night bird looked in in the window at the plate of Stephanie's fruitcake. A murmur, a vibration. Frank's phone turned red. Harry, the distant voice, spoke. So you think the Prime Minister's going to play for time? Because the Dryers and the Liberal Party will chuck him out if he makes a captain's pick as a hard line with the Chinese. But within days, the American intelligence will be compromised by Chinese intelligence. Now, if the American Air Force makes a move against the Chinese intelligence, as we take the gangsters out, 2 aircraft carriers off Sydney and 3,000 troops and helicopters ready to bust up these Chinese gangs. The State Department just told me to do it. Just go and hit the hotel gangsters' hideouts from the air. Over an hour before anybody in the press wakes up, all prisoners will be taken back to the United States and interrogated on board the aircraft carrier in international waters. Harry, it'll bring down the Australian government. So I live in America. Ha ha ha, laughed Harry. The Democrats will love you there. The President's daughter likes fishing, Harry said with a smile. Oh, bugger, Frank spoke without hope. So when do I get the final phone call on this? Asked Frank. We pass it down the line to the President and Secretary of State. Then my boss, the CIA director. Then to me. I run it through the Australian end, so I thought of having a local import. And I thought of you. So if you did nothing to object to it, in an hour and a half our naval seals will be in the air. I'll be the most hated party spoiler in Australia, spoke Frank in thought. You've got a very bad record already, laughed Harry. You're just a horrible boy. You told me that the first time we met in spy school. Harry bellowed with laughter. So let's think. The purpose of the exercise is get the information on this Chinese mob and upset them because our response will be in the long run counterproductive. They'll just go round the corner and set up business again. Yeah, mate, I know that. The President thought that also. He also thinks we can come up with something better. Who's we? Asked Frank. Since your bum gets scorched first, it's who is you? The bottom of the chain of command is the politics of the military. Bugger, Frank looked ruffled. So if I tell him you know about 70% of what's happening already, spoke Frank. But the federal police are paralysed. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Third rule I taught you at spy school. I'm hearing you, said Harry. The Chinese mafia have been on my radar for 2 months now. The rank and the file of the feds have been talking like canaries. My boys in the force have ears like industrial vacuum cleaners. Oh, Harry whispered. Also, the Prime Minister, the Australian Prime Minister, is a suspect dry faction member. Oh, that makes things a little tough, Harry thought.